I was wrong to say you're just a guy.
And?
If you want, you're welcome to come with us to the next battle with Eggman.
Apology accepted. Can we go now?
Well, no, we have to wait until Eggman launches an attack.
How about now?
Just go to your happy place. Just go to your happy place.
What's this, your happy place or something? And when are we going to the battle? Now? What?
Oops, one too many.
Who the f is this bro?
Before I start this vid, I just want to thank y'all for 77k subs. When I last uploaded, we was at 68.7k. Words can't express how grateful I am. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't already. And yeah, Sonic Boom is extremely unhinged. Sonic vs. Metal Sonic, a historic rivalry that's been going on since before One Piece even started. These two have been going at it for 3 decades, dog. My goodness. So you know Sega had to sneak that boy into the Boomverse in the episode titled It Wasn't Me, It Was the One-Armed Hedgehog. The episode starts off with Eggman tweaking over his particle accelerator going missing. He ends up giving a report to the police about it, and Sonic is just chilling on Eggman's couch. When did he even spawn in?
I've never seen him like this. I kinda like it.
Nigga really came out the womb a hater. There was no reason for him to say that. He just really loves preying on Eggman's downfall. For some reason, people pay to tour Eggman's lair, and of course, Orbot and Cubot are given a tour.
The room where he hatches his brilliant ideas.
Eggman ends up calling out Sonic for being the thief, and the tourists just so happen to enter at the same time. Chili dog scraps on the ground when Sonic is eating a chili dog? Gasp. He proceeds to throw a crumb? Gasp. Footprints that just so happen to be identical to Sonic's? Gasp. The cop ends up finding out they're actually identical? Gasp. The cop ends up saying this case can't be closed since there's not enough evidence, and you won't believe what conveniently happens next.
Sarge, where do you want me to put this crate of recent photos of crime scenes where partially eaten chili dogs and Sonic-shaped footprints were found?
Sonic ends up being put under arrest, but no food or movies? I'm outta here. He ends up getting employed again, but this time, his name is Bob. Gang got glasses and a bandana on to preserve his secret identity on some Clark Kent shit. His bestie for the day, Earl, ends up getting hit by a horseshoe, and Sonic takes him to the doctor. Just look at this doctor, dog. Stethoscope don't even go in his ears properly, my nigga. Earl is cooked.
You gotta help him.
Oh, sure. Let me just whip up some anti-horseshoe elixir.
Hey, if you can't help him, just say so.
No, seriously. I've got a recipe for anti-horseshoe elixir. I just need some pink orchid root.
Did this nigga just say he has a recipe for anti-horse elixir? Why would you ever need that? Meanwhile, the whole village is complaining about Sonic allegedly stealing their belongings.
How about I bake up a batch of my famous cookies and put them on the windowsill? Sonic will smell them and come to steal one, but he won't know that they're laced with poison.
She has the audacity to offer the mayor a cookie after that speech, and just look at him, he's disgusted. Somehow Knuckles is here and declares that he'll be the one to capture Sonic, but his slow ass can't even open the door properly and hits the Scott Pilgrim escape route. Nigga out here licking these twigs claiming Sonic was here, like he's hunting the Chaos Emeralds.
Aw, stop following me! I don't need help! This is a shortcut.
Sonic ends up sprinting past Knuckles in order to get the ingredients to save Earl, and Knuckles chases him and somehow captures Sonic. Nigga, what? How is this even possible? I done seen Sonic dust this nigga, yet you expect me to believe this dumbass echidna was able to catch up to him? I just seen Sonic going toe to toe with the Flash like last week. I've had enough of this tomfoolery. Boom Sonic is a fraud. Sad AM Sonic could never. Sonic ends up handing the flowers to the doctor and storm off to the imposter's crib.
Look, Sonic, it's you!
Where'd he go?
Trying their hardest to make this motherfucker look vicious. Knuckles starts dissing some punches, but it's not very effective. So Metal hits him with a blast, and he got Sonic and Knuckles looking like Raditz and Goku. Knuckles knocks out, and Metal Sonic shoots another blast, forcing Sonic to jump and run on the hut while being chased by a laser. The hut ends up collapsing on Sonic, and Metal hits a victory emote. But Sonic emerges from the rubble, so Metal tries to fire a blast, but his engine jams, and Sonic starts bullying him. Straight belt to ass. So Metal whips out the particle accelerator and hits the infinite pose. So Sonic baits Metal to his house in order to tire him and throws a horseshoe that makes Metal's system shut down. And when Sonic arrives back at the town hall to prove his innocence, he's still guilty because he has all the stuff that was stolen with him. But Earl clutches up and brings in Metal Sonic. Just look at how they massacred my boy, man.
This nigga is trash.
I don't know what's worse, Hulk's representation in the MCU or Metal Sonic post-Sonic heroes. This nigga is a walking L now. I done seen a guy get 1 million views from ranking how useless Metal Sonic is in every Sonic game. Are you shitting me? Don't get me wrong, Archie Sonic is cold as a bitch. He went toe-to-toe with Shadow, but Metal was the OG rival to Sonic, bruh. He was him. And now whenever I see him make an appearance in a game, it just makes me think about the good old days. Metal Sonic is truly washed, and that's a hard reality to accept. Hopefully they actually make him useful in Sonic 4 and not just a side villain. Sega! Make Metal Sonic great again and my life is yours! Dave the intern, everyone's favorite fast food worker. We all know this guy hates his job, but he's too lazy to even consider quitting. But what if I told you this Cyan Nutria is unironically the most menacing villain in this series? Sonic and Amy go on a lunch date, but Eggman cuts the line, and Dave acts as if Eggman was in front of them the whole time. And Sonic is about to crash out, but Amy comforts him. Aww. So Davey, ship is real! This nigga Eggman deadass emotes on them. Dave ends up confronting the Egghead later, saying that he's his biggest fan, so Eggman decides to make Dave his unpaid intern. And I've never seen a man so ecstatic to be an unpaid cleaner. So Cubot and Orbot start talking shit behind Dave's back, but he overheard them, and like I said earlier, this guy is a menace. Do not trigger him. Cubot goes missing and Orbot ends up finding an attic door that's sealed with oil. What in the bendy and the ink machine shit is this? Orbot opens the door and this nigga Dave deassembled Cubot. So Orbot pulls up to Tails' hut and asks for him to fix Cubot for like the 100th time. Dave ends up stumbling on Eggman's doomsday device and becomes ecstatic. He no longer wants to be a maid. He wants to be a real villain.
I was kind of hoping to get a little more evil experience.
Listen, Dave, you're a terrible kid, and that's great. But you have to start at the bottom of the evil ladder and work your way up. Let's give it a few more weeks, huh?
A few more weeks? A few more weeks? Maybe I shouldn't put the power supply in my pants!
You're not wearing any pants!
Then what are these pockets?
Low-key, Dave got a point since these niggas be pulling Chaos Emeralds out their ass with no pockets. Tails ends up fixing Cubot and discovers that 2 doomsday devices have been activated at Eggman's lair.
Game over, Eggman! Shut off the doomsday devices!
Who puts an off switch on a doomsday device?
You make a valid point.
Sonic tells Tails that there's no off switch, so Tails comes with the theory that if both doomsday machines have an even frequency, they'll neutralize each other. So Sonic and Tails run up the 2-man action. Tails teams up with Dave and Sonic teams up with Eggman. This nigga Eggman turned Sonic into a living power supply. I know for a fact he had that on his bucket list. I also find it hilarious how Sonic tries to comfort Eggman with a PB&J, but doesn't know how to make one properly. So Eggman keeps critiquing him, and when Sonic finally gets it right, he just devours it. He doesn't even question why Sonic is helping him with a device that destroys the world. He just goes along with it. Both the devices go off, but it creates a black hole. I wonder who's the person who fucked the plan up.
There must have been some small power discrepancy.
Let's not point fingers.
Sonic snatches Tails' gadget and just look at Tails' face, man. He was really trying to be the hero of this episode. Sonic yeets the gadget into the black hole and secures the clutch. And Eggman fires Dave.
They'll pay for this. They're all gonna pay! You want fries with that?
Several days later.
Dave awakens his powers and goes on a rampage. He freezes Amy and Tails, sends bears to chase Sticks and Knuckles, and...
I have no mercy. I work in the fast food industry!
Did this nigga just kill Sonic the Hedgehog? Turns out Dave was just role-playing his villain fantasies, but he's tired of role-playing and decides to become a real-deal villain.
Now that's what I call a cool summer breeze.
A few minutes later.
Vengeance!
Eggman calls out Dave for being a peon, so Dave crashes out and somehow kicking this box leads to the pet jumping on the Eggmobile, shooting a laser that chops the tree off and lands on Eggman. And when Eggman wakes up, Dave trapped him in his own invention.
I bet Orbot and Cubot are on their way to rescue me right now.
This nigga Dave announced himself as the #1 villain in the village on national television with a new name.
Dave the...
Look at Sonic's reaction, gang. He not worried about no Dave the intern.
He's never really been a threat, unless you consider serving undercooked beef a threat.
Actually, foodborne illnesses are not to be laughed at. But Dave the intern is.
Silence!
I am all one demons, ladies!
Dave ends up stealing one of Eggman's bots and tries to take out the Boom Squad, so Sonic goes to rescue Eggman in order to help them. And why are they tiptoeing like Dave is a threat? We know he's a fraud. And as soon as Eggman sees the Boom Squad is destroying his bot and Dave is wasting the ink, he tells Sonic where the shutdown lever is. Sonic pulls it and Dave casually exits it like he wasn't just the biggest threat to society today.
David, are you responsible for destroying my house?
Yes, Mother.
That's a terrible thing you did. I am so proud of you.
So I'm not a loser?
No, you're a villain.
We all know Eggman is a loner. In this series, I've already talked about how he snuck his way into the friend group in order to cope with his loneliness, but most importantly, this nigga has no parents. He's so lonely that he created a mini black hole and snuck into a children's science fair in order to show his invention off. Mans is out here chatting about some particle theory, but the news reporter is more interested in a potato clock.
Ah, the solar system. It's so much less cluttered since they tossed that dwarf planet.
Except there's no such thing as other planets. They're just holograms projected by aliens. If there are no planets, then where do the aliens come from, mister?
Sticks, the only person I defend for threatening a literal toddler. Beth ends up winning the science fair, and look at Eggman's reaction when he loses. He was deadass about to scrap with a child. They don't even bother to give him a participation trophy.
My son picked that rock out all by himself.
Look how she's gushing over him. It's just a silly rock. I wish I had someone to give me unconditional love like that.
Sads, bro. This is how every man feels past 12 a.m. on a Friday night. He decides to use his 300 IQ towards creating MomBot.
My boy.
MomBot!
Did this nigga just squeal at a fictional mom? I don't know if I should feel sorry for bro or happy that he's finally gonna get the unconditional love he's always wanted. It's 2025 now. Where my partner bots at, bro? Eggman deadass has a whole montage spending time with MomBot, reenacting all the moments he missed out on as a child. He even plays Beethoven for her on the piano. I didn't even know this nigga can play the piano. She even goes out of her way to call Sonic to set up a movie date for Eggman and Sonic to make up their differences. Peep how Sonic brought Amy and Sticks and put them in the back line just in case something goes wrong. I wonder what Knuckles and Tails are up to.
Meanwhile,
Velocity.
It's out of the park.
They go for round 2 and Tails jumps into the sky. A high-rise building in the US is over 75 feet. Fuck being Sonic's side bitch. Get this nigga in the league. He gonna be yamming this shit like Anthony Edwards.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Y'all hear that? I know the 06 Eggman theme when I hear it, bruh. Eggman does a mini terrorist attack on Sonic and dips. He deadass made explosive popcorn. It's never that deep. Amy and Sticks end up trapping him, and next thing you know, they're at Eggman's lair having a breakfast for dinner date with MomBot.
So, Amy, I don't mean to pry, but you and Sonic are friends? Or... MomBot's right. You know, spring chicken.
What is a spring chicken slang? A young person often used to describe someone who is no longer young or inexperienced. Wait, do Sonic and Amy be
Eggman tries to do a sneak attack on the gang, but Mom's bot aura is so strong the robots turn around and she backhands the fuck out of Eggman and sent that nigga to his bedroom with the whole squad laughing at him.
Headphones pumping subliminal messages from the government.
Really, mister?
They have lots of ways of controlling you. Fluoride in the tap water, chemtrails, diet soda.
Sticks just adopted a child and is about to teach her the crackhead way. They about to be a more sped duo than ZS and Bilu. Eggman is tired of having someone bossing him around and tries to backdoor Mombot. But after thinking about the happiness she brought him, he lets her stay in his life.
What? Does it always have to end on a joke?
Damn, nigga, how'd you know I'm watching you? Remember the infamous Knuckles birthday cake scene? This was just a flashback Sonic had since he saw cookies on his doorstep. Little did Sonic know that these cookies were evil cookies made by Eggman to make anyone who eats it a clone of him. Thanks to a very convenient call from Tails, Sonic throws the cookie away and Knuckles ends up eating it instead, followed by Amy and eventually Sticks too. She really thought she was slick eating it behind a rock.
Sonic, wait! Don't eat that cookie!
Why?
Well, chocolate chunk is my favorite.
Fine. I'll just go inside and make a sandwich or something.
Chocolate chunk. Ooh, with a hint of cinnamon. And a touch of...
The next day.
The whole Boom Squad are now evil geniuses, except Knuckles. He's a quote-unquote evil mastermind of average intelligence. He starts giving them a crash course and peep the accuracy on how Eggman passed the papers. Is this nigga 2013 Phase Rain? Eggman teaches them how evil lessons should be labeled from 1 to 4 to 7 to 12 and 16, how to observe your enemies, and how to shoot a gun like a stormtrooper. Sonic barges in, but he ends up getting pinched since he doesn't want to hurt his friends. So he pulls out one of his quills, puts it in the cookie machine, and launches it from way downtown into Eggman's mouth. Eggman starts hitting moves that should be physically impossible. How is he homing attacking so effortlessly? Doesn't he weigh like 300? Sonic ends up trusting Eggman to stall and goes to everyone's spot in order to grab a piece of their DNA. He arrives back, bakes some cookies with Eggman, and hits him with the good, great, awesome, outstanding 4 for 4 from the field and turns everyone back to normal, including Eggman.
Okay, fun's over. I gotta get back to work. Evil doesn't brilliantly plan and execute itself, you know.
I've talked about a lot of random things in this show. Cubot becoming sentient, Sticks knowing how to deal with a missile silo, and Knuckles being a feminist. But nothing is more random than Vector the Crocodile becoming a recurring character in Season 2. Mans is a straight bag chaser in the Boomverse. He has a whole production committee that travels with him at all times for his detective show. They went out of their way to give him custom transition scenes. They did not have to do all that. Vector is here because Amy's hammer went missing in the morning. So Sonic and Vector team up in order to find it. They end up discovering these footprints that lead to a Medburger VIP card. So they pull up on Dave playing good cop and bad cop. This nigga Vector slaps the card on Dave's face and destroys the amenities for no reason. Then Sonic proceeds to yoink at Dave. Nigga, are they both playing bad cop?
Okay, I admit it. The Medburger VIP program is a sham. We just give cards out to disgruntled customers to make them feel special. Nearly everyone in town's got one.
I don't have one.
Well, somebody's got to pay full price to offset the steep discounts everyone else is getting.
Amy takes a TV break to clear her mind, and Justin Bieber is on Teamu Jimmy Fallon. Turns out the reality TV show he's in is worse than Sonic Unleashed according to IGN, and Comedy Chimp is a bigger dickhead than Sonic. Listen to what he says about Justin's show on national television.
I tried watching that show last night. My TV pulled the plug on itself!
Ah, hell nah. Rightfully so, Justin storms off the show mad as shit, just like me, because Mario Kart World is $80. $90 for the physical game, and it's just a keyguard to download it off the eShop? What happened to the game I love, man? Anyways, if I was Justin, I'm crashing out. So when the Boom Squad discovers a fucked up Comedy Chimp sign with marks similar to ones Amy's hammer would leave, Vector suspects Justin did it due to the events of last night. So him and Sonic spawn camp Justin's house and catch him acting hella sus. So they run up on him, but he's just a crewmate chilling at a book club. The real imposter is among us though. Shh, if you know, you know.
The next morning.
They search for more clues, and the producer discovers a pie that's eaten from the middle near the crime scene. So Vector decides to hold a pie fair to find out who eats a pie like this, but the operation completely fails. Sonic and Vector do their walk of shame and start arguing. Vector calls Sonic a...
I didn't see you coming up with anything, furball!
So Sonic retaliates and calls Vector a
Who you calling furball, leatherhead?
They both for sure were racially motivated here. Wolf the sidekick gets embarrassed by Comedy Chimp on TV, and seeing this guy Vector feeling like Jimmy Neutron. Cut to the next day, and Vector claims Wolf the sidekick is the culprit since he has a Mad Burger VIP card, is constantly hit with pies, and has a grudge against Comedy Chimp. Sonic got triggered over Amy showing affection to another man again. She really his soft spot for real. Even after discovering the culprit, Vex still feels uneasy since why would someone ever steal a hammer that's so recognizable? Hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. That's when it hit him. The pie from earlier was pointed out by the producer since he placed it there. Since the producer originally wanted to get his get back at Justin for leaving his agency. This producer is Aizen fucking Sosuke. This whole case, all the clues we got were purposely placed by him.
Was the wolf really the culprit? Or was he a patsy? With the help of Sonic the Hedgehog, we're about to find out.
Dixon was the hammer thief. He has a Mad Burger VIP card, as well as a motive to frame Justin Bieber.
What do you gotta say for yourself, you mug?
Unfortunately for the wolf sidekick, his ass is still in jail since everyone forgot about him. That's tough! But not as tough as it's gonna be for Sonic and the Boom Squad to defeat Shadow the Hedgehog in their rematch. Eggman straight up has a whole family now. There's robots invading the village, and Sonic goes beyond the Boomverse for an episode. The Sonic Boom is Unhinged series will conclude in one big ass finale, and Sonic Boom is ultimately unhinged. Last time Sonic and Ultimate were in the same title, it didn't end well, but don't worry, I got you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you haven't already. Next week, I'm finally dropping the entirety of Solo Leveling, but it's a movie. Just look at my timeline, bro. I went from making brain rot TikToks to straight up films now. If you're new to the channel, I suggest you watch the Shibuya, but it's less than an hour in preparation for it. Even if you've never watched JJK before, it's made in a way that anyone can enjoy it, and it's easily my best video. See y'all next week on the road to 100K, bro. I love y'all niggas, no cap.
Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, it's your